wants to kill you. I need to serve up Tommy first. Get them off my back. This is crazy.
I am committed to bringing down this city's violent crime rate.
You want CPD support? You'll play ball.
I'm working another angle to get rid of Egan.
It looks like he's walking all over you. We need a leader.
Let's hit him where it hurts.
Claudia. I finally figured out a way for us to bury the hatchet. Come along.
What's up, ugly ass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and I am back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking, but most importantly, make sure you share it for your ugly ass friends. On today's video, we're going to be dealing with Power Book 4 Force, and this is Kanan's debut on Force, basically dealing with the hallucination scene. Now, I did a live on this particular topic yesterday, and some of you guys were, claiming even in the live, and some of them you went back and reviewed it and said it in the comment section. How do we know this is a hallucination scene? And to be honest with you, truth is we don't, the glad niggas. But this is my assumption, judging by a couple of clues and what we've seen thus far in the Power universe. So I'm going to be breaking all of that down and more up in this particular video. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. So basically what's sparking up this conversation, as you know, this particular scene, really more so this one, is this was a big thing when we first was introduced, the teaser trailer for, this last season of Force. A lot of people were wondering, who is it that's in this chair here that Tommy is looking at with the gun in hand? And you can tell, kind of judging by Tommy's clothing, he looks like he just came from war, right? Because he's dressed in all black, and more importantly, he has on gloves. So that kind of lets you know that he kind of just came from war, or he's getting ready to head to war. But back to this one here. So you see here, he has the gun in hand, and then later with the chair, when we're saying the chair, he doesn't have it drawn. So my guess is, at first, he was, having his gun drawn, and then once he realized who it is, he kind of withdrew, or perhaps something that whoever this mystery character is said. He kind of withdrew his gun, and let it go. So with that being said, the question at hand is, who is this mystery person that is in this chair? Now, I have a list of people that I think this could turn out to be. And for the ones that is saying, how do we even know this is a hallucination scene? Even got a scenario that it could possibly be someone who is currently actually still around. So let's go ahead and go into who these particular people could turn out to be. Now, first up, we have none other than Kanan Stark. Now, as you know, that I thought it's a possibility it could be Kanan, because obviously I have him in the thumbnail. So first up, and to me the highest on my list at first for sure. Now after kind of hearing out some of you guys, I changed it up. Well, not changed it, but actually opened that this could turn out to be someone else. But I just think it kind of makes the most sense with, Tommy actually mentioning Kanan more than once on the show this season. And, I think just like he appeared to Tariq in Ghost, he may just appear to Tommy in Force and give him a little advice, just as he did Tariq. So this could be a scenario where Tommy is going through it, first here he's going through it, he's not knowing what's going on, and what he's gonna do. He has a major decision to make, and I would guess, if this does absolutely turn out to be Kanan, then more than likely the decision will have something to do with D-Mac, in my opinion. You know, the situation with King Kilo wanting them dead, and of course, you know, Diamond and the Jannard planning to have him killed for King Kilo behind his back. And, you know, he's kind of on the fence whether or not he could trust them or not. And then Kanan give him a little advice and basically lets him see the truth and realize that they've been trying to play him this whole time. And that could be what separates him from CBI. That's the first. And I think also for the ones that's saying, you know, how do we know this is a hallucination? Well, in my opinion, I think it's a strong possibility of a hallucination because of him looking like he's tipping his glass to whoever this is, because this seems to be the same scene, right? And he's looking up like he's looking up to the heavens, right? Now, one of my subscribers made a good joke. Shout out to Talia. She said he should be looking down because Kanan is clearly in hell instead of heaven. But, you know, the point is that he's looking up as if he's talking with someone that's no longer with him. You know how they do, you know, you make a toast to the homie, you know, and then maybe you'll, you know, pour out a little liquor for him and stuff like that. So that's where I can, and also keep in mind in episode 5 of the last season of book 2, Ghost, we also got a hallucination scene where Tariq seen himself in the eyes of him actually being his father, Ghost. And speaking of Ghost, he is next on our list because he is another one that people are hoping this one to be. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this out here. In my opinion, I think this is absolutely not Ghost for a multitude of reasons. My first reason and most important reason to me, the reason why I think this is not him, is because it's too early, in my opinion. I think if you're going to do a reveal that Ghost is still alive, it's going to be like towards the very end. So in episode 9, more than likely a finale, right? So you're not going to introduce him on the mid-season finale. And then, I mean, if they did, it would be a very, very interesting take. And I would love to see how they would go with this. But in my opinion, I absolutely think it's very low % chance this is him, even though I know majority of our fans would love it to be him. So next on my list, and this one here was kind of big. People were saying that he could be looking at his father, Tony Teresi. Now I can give that some wings. You feel me? Like, you know, obviously that's his father. He didn't get to know him as well as he would have wanted, but you know, he could appear to him and try to give him some kind of fatherly advice, even though he's the one who killed him, right? But yeah, I could possibly see it being Teresi as well. But if I had to bet on it, I'm going to go with a strong no. But now I'm going to get to the two other ones that I think is really strong possibilities as well. And I think it could be a nice story. So first, I'm going to go to another one that's alive still. So this one obviously is alive. We got JP. As you see, they're toasting here, but this time it's with beers. Now, a lot of us believe that JP is absolutely going to die this season. Some believe it could happen as early as this next episode. Now, in my opinion, I think unless they decide to skip the New York visit that Tommy had, you know, from book 2 spinoff where he crossed over, unless they decide to just skip that scene and do a time jump, there's no way JP could die, because he told Tasha that he has a brother and he was still speaking of him as if he was alive. So if he haven't made that New York trip yet, that means he isn't dead. So that means he can't die as early as episode 5, right? So, but for the ones that, you know, somebody, I can't remember who it was, but someone in the live said it could be JP. Shout out to you. It makes a great story, but like I said, I just don't think it's possible because he shouldn't be dead. And if this is a hallucination, because I don't see why the living JP would be in his loft, just sitting there like that. I mean, I could be totally wrong though. Maybe he is capable of this and he does do it. But I would give it very low % chance. But if he was dead, then, you know, it would make sense of him having a hallucination about him, like, you know, apologizing to him. He should have been there to protect him, things of that nature. And then, you know, we just seen him toasting with beer, so maybe, you know, he give him one last toast and lets him know, I'm going to be there for D-Mac no matter what. I'm going to make sure he's taken care of, just like I know you would have done if you were, you know, something like that. So I can see something like that going on. Now we're going to go to the next one that I also think was really good. I can't remember who said this one either, but shout out to you. You know you are. Let me know in the comment section who said this on the live, that it could turn out to be none other than Lakesha Grant. Now, this could make a good story because think about this. If Maria is pregnant and, you know, or you know what? Scratch the part about being pregnant. That's really kind of irrelevant. That doesn't matter. The part where I think Lakesha could make a good storyline here is the fact that Tasha was the one who took her out, right? And according to this timeline so far, Tommy and Tasha hasn't made up, right? So since Tommy and Tasha hasn't made up yet, it's possible that she could appear in a hallucination, you know, while he's kind of, you know, doing a lot of thinking. Maybe he's on coke again or something that, you know, got him kind of spacing out. And she reappears to him and be like, why? Just like Angela, you know, appeared to Ghost in episode 604, you know, titled, Why is Tommy Still Alive? Lakesha could, you know, appear and be like, why is Tasha still alive, right? And right after that, you know, Tommy could end up getting that letter, which I think is possibly could be this scene here, you know, maybe. You know, we see the JP holding out some piece of paper. Now, shout out to Talia again. She said in the live that the paper was a white paper that Monet received at her house that was allegedly from Cooper Satch, indicating that, you know, Tariq was a snitch and he's been working with the feds. And of course, it had Tasha's address on it, right? So, but what I told her though, even though, you know, she was 100% correct about that, we don't know what the letter that Diana delivered to Kate looked like. Like, she could have wrote a totally different letter herself, put the address from the letter on it, and gave it to, you know, Tommy gave it to Kate, and that's what we're saying here. Or this could just very well be something else. But y'all let me know in the comment section. Could you possibly think this is, and I'm going to do a whole new video on this one as well in regards to this letter. But yeah. And lastly, of all the people that I think this could possibly be, maybe it could turn out to be another one that is still alive, and it could be none other than Vic Bland. Because think about this, we do know, according to the episode 5 trailer, that Vic is going to be assembling a crew, right? So he could be getting a crew together, letting Tommy know that, and then after he feels like he's high and mighty enough, he sneaks into Tommy's loft, and Tommy sees him sitting here, ugly as hell, up in the chair, feeling like he dug this nigga around no more. Like, Tommy, you ain't that nigga no more. I'm him now. And he flexes his muscle, telling him what all he has now, and letting Tommy know, you're not going to be bullying me around anymore. Now, I think that is a possibility as well. But y'all definitely let me know in the comment section, good old people, who do you think could possibly be in this show? And also, before I go, I want to say that keep in mind that Gary Lennon, the showrunner of Power Book 4 Force, teased that he was going to have a return of an OG Power character this season. Now, that's the reason why I put so many of the OG Power characters in this video, that it could potentially be. And maybe that is this scene. Or perhaps not. But anyways, y'all definitely let me know in the comment section, who do you think is this mystery person in that chair? Could this be the debut of Kanan Stark, returning to the Power universe as a hallucination stain and direct Tommy to what his next move should be? Or could it be any of the other characters that I mentioned? Or do you think it's going to be a totally different character altogether? Let me know all of that and more in the comment sections. But pretty much that's all I got for y'all for this particular video. So definitely let me know what you're thinking of in the comment section. Like usual, if you're cool with me, go ahead. Make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and let me know what you're thinking all up in the comment sections. But most importantly, make sure you share it with your glad friends. But until the next video, I'm out.